Tutor Tech, project about teaching languages, learning, technology and how they co-evolve together. By Where, app to collect and learn words you actually need.
So I guess the range of ways in which computers could be used to support language learning have evolved over the sort of history of developments in computer technology. For me, computer-assisted language learning incorporates all of those things. Originally, I would have said computer-assisted language learning is more akin to kind of using the computer to do drills, so to repeatedly do exercises in a behavioristic kind of way. And for some, that might be what computer-assisted language learning is. And particularly if you're, it's very much what other apps might do, like very popular apps like Duolingo, Quizlet, some of these kind of apps where you've got flashcard apps. They use this very behavioristic approach, but there is much more, or there are many more ways in which computers can support language learning. So in terms of the history of language learning, I would say we've moved from behavioristic call, where it's about doing drills, about doing lots of vocabulary and grammar exercises repeatedly, then moved through multimedia call. So if you remember, originally computers were kind of green screen, the graphics weren't very interesting. We've moved on to multimedia, and the nature of multimedia has, I guess, it's got more and more interesting ways to enhance content, which might help to better represent subject knowledge, or when you're learning a language, to represent vocabulary or to represent kind of grammar, or to provide scenarios to practice your language. So we've kind of moved through behavioristic into multimedia call, and then into what they call communicative call. So communicative call being computer-assisted language learning, where you use applications such as computer-mediated communication, so your instant messaging apps, your video conferencing apps, things like Zoom, Skype, to engage learners in real communication. And then that kind of moved on from there to what they call integrative call, which is using a variety of different applications and resources to allow learners to engage in a variety of skills. So to do reading, and that reading then be a stimulus for a speaking task. So for me, computer-assisted language learning, that encompasses any kind of use of technology that might support language learning, not just kind of apps that support learners to learn independently, but also technologies that might help them to learn in groups with teacher facilitation, for example. So I'm not thinking about what you'd call computer-assisted instruction, which is where the computer is replacing the tutor. For me, ideally, the ideal language instruction would incorporate a variety of tools, because these different tools, each tool is best suited to the teaching of different kind of skills and areas of knowledge. So if you're looking at teaching areas of knowledge like vocabulary, like pronunciation, you might be looking at a more behavioristic tool that's giving drill and practice, like Ver, like Duolingo, like pronunciation tools that are out there. But if you're moving towards teaching skills, then you might be looking at using a variety of different applications, communications applications, collaboration tools, and things like that.
Tutor Tech, project about teaching languages, learning, technology and how they co-evolve together. By Where, app to collect and learn words you actually need.